welcome back to the channel everyone. Thotgor here of course, and today we are going to take a look at a battle in the Hindenburg. You can see as well, I'm grouped up with Badpanda. So it's been an interesting past couple of days. It was Thanksgiving here in Canada, so, you know, doing that sort of thing. Did a bunch of drinking, and I guess I'm not old. I'm not old, but it took me a little while to recover after that drinking as well. So it was a lazy few days, but it was well worth it, I suppose. It was greatly appreciated. But anyway, we are with Badpanda today. Yeah, you might remember Badpanda from a few videos. He sent me a random message in game, decided to play a match together, and this is what we got. Now, as I'm sure most of you are aware, I do really enjoy this Hindenburg. She is pretty fantastic. People ask why, and always, basically the same things. Her guns are amazing. I do have Demolition Expert on this captain. Now, some say that is kind of a waste because it's, a percentage of an already small percent, so it doesn't really equate too much, and that's true. The math doesn't lie on that, but it's still that that little extra chance is I'm still willing to take it. Couple that with the flag as well, and but anyway, guns are amazing. Next thing that she has going for her is I do find that she's fairly sturdy, fairly good survivability, and in fact, that brings me to another point, but we're still talking about why the Hindenburg is good, so I'll get to that. So fairly good survivability. The AA on the Hindenburg is quite good. Now, obviously, it's not as good as a Des Moines, for example, at tier 10, but it is still pretty good. And with captain abilities, you can get that up a whole lot. Like, I think, well, we'll get to that in a moment as well. So those three things going for her: guns, her survivability, her AA. Maneuverability is pretty decent. It's nothing too fantastic, but it is better. At least I find it better than a Moskva. I find the Moskva doesn't have quite as good of a turning circle as the old Hindenburg. But anyway, what I've been alluding to and saying that I'd get to is this battle. At the end of this battle, I do actually finish the Hindenburg captain. He now has 19 points. So I have 4 points that I need to spend, and I'm not sure what to spend them on. So right now, Hindenburg captain only has one tier 4 ability. I've got Concealment Expert on him. That's it. I've got what do I have? In tier 3, I have Superintendent and Demolition Expert. In tier 2, I have, what's it called? The thing for the turrets? That's what it's called. In tier 1, Priority Target. So I don't really know what I should spend those 4 points on. I could get another 4-point captain ability, which would increase the range and overall effectiveness of my AA guns, which would be a really significant increase to the AA guns on this ship. But I've been hesitant to do so because I'm not really sure. I don't see aircraft carriers too often. I don't really see aircraft carriers as they are right now playing a role, and I don't playing a significant role in the game. And I don't know how long it's going to take Wargaming to fix that. So I'm not sure if I want to do that right away. Or I was thinking maybe Survivability Expert, right? A tier 3 ability. Give me more hit points. That might be worth it. I was thinking then, though, I only have 1 point left. So what do you get with that 1 point? And then I was looking at the 2 points, and Adrenaline Rush would be nice to have on this. I mean, the reload, as you can see, the reload on the Hindenburg is pretty good, but it could be better, especially, the harder things become and the less HP that you have as the battle progresses. So there's those options. So I'm curious to know what you guys would think is a good option for those 4 points. Maybe not all of them on a 4-level ability, maybe splitting them up. I'm not sure. Let me know what you guys think. Anyway, cruising around, you can see so far the enemy team has They managed to cap B, and they managed to cap, what is that, C? So it's not so great of a situation. Now, most of my team, and Badpanda's team as well, is over there on the western side of the map, right? Over there by A, because we just capped A. So basically what I'm trying to do is just harass the enemy until my team arrives. I'm not going to be pushing into B whatsoever. I'm, basically going to be playing the range of the Hindenburg, maneuverability as I'm firing. I'm maneuvering around, so hopefully I'm a harder target to hit. And I'm just trying to set people on fire, just trying to keep that fire going as much as I possibly can, right? In hopes of racking up some damage, but also disrupting the enemy here a little as well. You can see that some of the enemy is trying to push into the B zone, right? Move up and try and secure that and even push beyond it. So I'm trying to prevent that. And of course, in all the haste, I do run right into an ally. And I'm sorry, buddy. Didn't mean to do that, obviously, but it happened. So that happened. But we continue to rain some HE shells downrange. Now, in the meantime, you can see that my team, at least I thought at this point, was a little sluggish to get into B, but it does all work out, and I'm probably, well, I'm not probably, I am, just a little freaked out with all the incoming shells, thinking, why aren't people here now type thing. So all in good time, Thotgor, all in good time. So there we go, there's another fire on that enemy battleship, so that's not too bad at all. Hopefully I'm going to be able to set some more fires. You can see obviously the player was just waiting until the second fire was set and then repairing that, and that's typical for a battleship. They'll usually let one fire just burn out. It's not until you get that second fire that they use the repair ability, and now it's a matter of, there we go, lighting fires, because now I know that those two fires, maybe one, whatever, is going to burn for its duration most likely, and rack me up the most damage. So that's good. So we took a big hit there from this enemy battleship over there. I believe it was from the Bismarck, but still, I can't stick around here anymore. I do have to try and get away, but you can see the land is actually, the train rather, is actually playing against me, and I do have to turn into the Bismarck shells, which is exactly what I don't want to do, because one lucky shot from that Bismarck and I could just go down. In fact, I was playing a battle yesterday, and I got detonated in my Hindenburg. Right at the beginning, it was tragic. I couldn't believe it. I actually, now that we're on the subject of poor games, I have been having terrible games these past few days. I don't know what's going on. Not really sure. I think it's just, RNG kept catching up with me. But just terrible games. I've been, I take out the Neptune, 2 minutes in, destroyed. Take out the Kutsov, pop my smoke, do some damage, torps come in out of nowhere and just kill me. Typical things like that. So I've been a little leery of playing, and also equates to the game of the Hindenburg today, but a little leery of playing in ships that I haven't taken out in a while, or that I'm really good in, because if I don't take it out in a while, or if I think I'm really good in it, I'm going to take chances that I normally should not take, and it results in these early deaths. So yeah. RNG will come back around. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. So we do have some shots going off into this enemy Montana, I believe, and I got really lucky in this situation, right? Because I was maneuvering around, firing shots off, and then this Montana comes out and is basically on no health at all, easily able to just put that player down without too much of an issue. So great. Now we have the enemy Neptune over here, and I'm pretty concerned about this Neptune, not to lie, because rapid fire AP rounds, I'm kind of sailing in a straight line here because I'm trying to regroup with my team at A. You see, basically I've been playing rearguard the whole time, right? My allies have been pushing slowly towards B. They're still pushing slowly towards B. Badpanda's down there, and I've just been sort of following them up in the rear, just harassing the enemies that are pushing quickly up. So there we go. I get a nice shot with my AP rounds into the enemy Neptune. No Citadel, but whatever. It did about 8,400 damage, so that the next salvo that goes into the player is easily able to take the player down. Perfect. Don't need to worry about the Neptune anymore. Now, looking around, do see some concerns. Now, the battleship is a bit of a concern, but it's fairly low health. Most importantly, the Minotaur, right? Minotaur is over there doing its thing. I'm a little concerned that maybe that thing involves killing me, so I'm going to try and put some distance between myself and the Minotaur. Probably a little selfish on my behalf. because because if you notice, the Minotaur is bearing down on our allied CV, right? And I think there's an allied destroyer up there right now who could potentially do something, but destroyers don't fare well against British cruisers, so little selfish on my behalf. Now we are going to be shooting at this enemy Azumo over here, trying to set the player on fire and hopefully get a fire that will burn, rack up some more damage here. We've got a bit of damage so far this battle, but it is looking a little hairy at this point in time, right? You can see even now I'm getting a little antsy, and I'm trying to push up into B here as well with my allied destroyer, see what we can do. There's an enemy destroyer that popped up. I wasn't really aware of this person until this point, so we're going to have to take that into account as well. For a while, I suppose. The player is far away from us, but again, going after our allied aircraft carrier. But if, you know, I'm not willing anymore to sit in the back and just try to light fires, I do have to make some sort of play here. So we're going to try and get ourselves into a bit of position where maybe we can support this destroyer in capping B. I'm not going to be able to get in there and cap B. There's that Azumo in there. There's probably some other ships that I just don't see at this point in time. So I really do just want to try and support my allied destroyer as much as I possibly can. We do have some enemy dive bombers coming in. You can see that they do manage to hit me there a little, and they do set me on fire. So I do need to put the fire out, and we're going to repair some of this damage. Here we go. We have the enemy Azumo, there it is, and I was hoping, you know, really to get some good shots into the player, but we do see that enemy destroyer pop up. Now I had switched over to armor piercing, so I'm going to unload the armor piercing into the Azumo, switch back over to the high explosive, and get ready for the enemy destroyer. Now we have shots coming in from the enemy Minotaur. This is exactly what I didn't want to have happen. Luckily though, I do have that island behind me, right? So with a little bit of maneuvering, a little bit of extending, I'm able to get that island into a position where I can have it work for me and cover the shots from the Minotaur. So I don't need to concern myself too much with the Minotaur, because I need to take down the enemy Azumo here, and then we do have that Fletcher as well. That is a bit of a concern. We have some enemy torpedo bombers coming in as well, and this, you know, would make a good argument here for the captain ability that will increase. It's not basic fire and training. I don't know, I can't remember what it is, but anyway, that would increase the AA stats of the ship considerably. So there is that argument. But even without that captain ability, you can see I'm still easily able to shoot down 5 planes. I understand it is a tier 8 carrier, right? Tier 8 planes against my tier 10 guns, so there is that factor as well. So it's not as spectacular as maybe I would like it to be, but still. So there we go. We managed to clear out the enemy Azumo. We fought off the enemy planes. The Fletcher's still lurking around somewhere, but we are capping B. We can see the Minotaur is no longer firing at me, but the Minotaur is having his way with our aircraft carrier. Nothing that I'm going to be able to do about that, unfortunately, but if we look at the minimap, we do see Badpanda is moving his way up there, and hopefully going to be able to do something with that Minotaur. Now I'm a little concerned here about the enemy Fletcher, because I'm not 100% sure where he is. You can see that we do have 2 enemy destroyers to deal with. One enemy destroyer is obviously in front of me, because they just shot torpedoes off at my allied battleship over there and just take that, or well, no, there goes our allied aircraft carrier rather. So I am a little concerned about the destroyers. Now couple that with the fact that we know the enemy aircraft carrier is over here somewhere, because this is where the planes are coming from. So if the enemy aircraft carrier decides to team up with the destroyers and they all shoot torpedoes at me at once, this could be tragic. On top of that, I do want to get to my ally battleship here as quick as I possibly can to provide any sort of AA assistance and help, you know, take down these enemy aircraft. Now I see the enemy torpedo bombers coming, torpedo bombers coming in. So we're going to turn into them. I'm not going to take a chance here. My allied aircraft carrier took it. Planes came in and, you know, killed those enemy airplanes. So that's good. Obviously the command was given before our allied aircraft carrier died, but we are going to try and hunt this enemy Fletcher down if we can at all. So there's the enemy aircraft carrier, it's a Shuikaku. So alright, we see the player, we see the enemy torpedo bombers, and then we see the enemy Fletcher once again. So we do want to focus on the Fletcher. It's just so dangerous. If this player decides, or well, not if the player decides, but if the player shoots torpedoes at me and I'm not on my toes and I'm, you know, catches me in a turn or something, there's nothing I can do. it will be catastrophic. So I'm going to fire off my torpedoes into the smoke. The player was about 5.6 kilometers away from me, so the thought was, if the enemy destroyer decides to sit there, I'd be able to get him. But no, we can clearly see enemy destroyers pushing on, moves in behind the rock. Now, I thought that this player was going to sit behind that rock, because if the player did, there's not a whole lot that I could do. If I push the player, I run the risk of eating torpedoes. But we do see enemy Fletcher pops up, very low health, so just a few shots, all it's going to take to get the player down. And then we can start focusing on something else here in the battle, see what else we have going on. So last rounds are out for the enemy Fletcher. Get a few hits there, and there we go. Enemy Fletcher is down. Fantastic. Yeah, Panda says that we're about to probably going to win, and most likely we are. I mean, the points this game have been really, really close the entire time, and you can see that. Even now, right, the 765, 68 maybe to 764, like, it's only now that we are going to start taking the lead here, and all because we were able to take down the enemy ships. And we've talked about this before on the channel, but it is always worth mentioning when a replay, that I put up on the channel really illustrates it. You don't have to kill yourself trying to get the cap. The caps are important. They sure are important. You really need them. But don't put yourself into a bad position and take a huge gamble just to try and capture the point if you're still pretty close in points and you can afford a bit of time to work over some of the enemies. Yep, did it once again. I'm so sorry, buddy. It happened. Ran right into the North Carolina, but I did then see the shots coming in from the enemy Henry over here and realized, oh hey, there's something over there. I don't really want to just leave my side to the Henry here, so I'm gonna have to turn in and take on this tier 10 French, I almost said French battleship, but French cruiser. I'm on the St. Louis at this point in time. I think I have about 20,000 experience so far towards the Henry, so it's going to be a bit of time before I get the Henry, but I am close-ish to my Minotaur, so I just need to save the 20 million credits or so, and then I'll have one of those, so I'm looking forward to that. But anyway, we do a bit of switching of ammo here, as you can see, between high explosive and armor piercing, because I was pretty sure that the Henry captain was not going to just sail broadside onto me, and as you saw with my armor piercing rounds that went in, they weren't all that effective against the Henry, especially when the player is angled like this. We will see it once again here with this salvo. Not too effective, right? You do really want to switch over to your armor piercing because it's, not going to work so well. Anyway, your high explosive. We get one more shot of armor piercing out. Again, didn't do too much, but now the Henry is within torp range, so we're going to launch our torps, but clearly this player is coming to a stop, and most likely is going to go into a reverse. So those torpedoes, probably not going to work, but whatever. I've got them. Player was within range, so fire them off. Now, in the meantime, this Henry here did cap A, but whatever, my team was able to cap C, and we have now a significant point lead as well, even though I know there's only one enemy ship remaining, and yeah, we're going to win. No surprise there. It's still important to note that it was pretty close there, pretty touch and go. The enemies did put up a bit of a fight, right? And had my team, not been quick to cap that other point and to put down enemy resistance, this could have gone very, very differently. So there we go. We see the Henry in a reverse. We've got our high explosive loaded, ready to go, so we'll just fire that off into the Henry, hopefully set a few fires. There we go. And, get the player burning, lose HP, maybe get the kill. We're sitting on 3 kills right now, so that's not too bad. But hopefully, I just wanted more damage is all. But yeah, whatever. Battle's over. Victory is ours. So not too bad. Bit of a touch and go, but it was nice to play with Panda once again. So you can see victory overall, 549,000 credits, 141,000 damage dealt, 10,000 experience, which all goes to free experience, I suppose. So top of the team overall with Panda in a close second. I think there's only a few points separating us, so it was a pretty close game for the two of us, but both of us earning well over 2,000 experience. So you can see how some of the damage has spread out over here as well, which isn't too bad. Something to note, Panda did get a Witherer medal, and I thought when he got that medal it was awfully early in the battle, so good show to Panda there. And you can see, there we go, commander experience, the captain is now highest rank. So once again, I am curious to know what you guys think about what I should spend those 4 points on for the Hindenburg captain. But anyway, that is the end of today's video. I do hope you guys enjoyed it. Remember to leave any comments you have for me in the video section below. Love reading those and responding back to them. Remember to hit the old like button if you did like today's video. Hit subscribe if you are not a subscriber. And as always, I do hope you enjoy the rest of your day.